truck and join the Newberry. regular city commission meeting, only 7 p.m. And the first thing before we get to approval of the agenda, we are actually going to be pulling item number 7 requested by the Good evening, everybody. I want to call this January 12th. If there's no other changes, do I hear a motion to accept the agenda? Motion's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion from the dais on the agenda? Any from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it, unanimous. All right, if you have the opportunity, please stand. We're going to do an invocation brought to us by Jamie Jones and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And please stay standing if you can after that.
We seek your divine guidance and wisdom. Grant us the clarity of thought and speech as we communicate effectively with one another. Help us to work together harmoniously, respecting each other's viewpoints and contributions. Lord, we invite your presence to permeate the discussions and decisions made tonight. May your wisdom illuminate our hearts and open our minds, guiding us to make the choices that align with your will and bring honor to your name. In his name, amen.
All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The first item we have tonight is presentations, but before we get started, I guess we should obviously acknowledge that we're in our new city chambers, right? So any of you who are joining us online, you'll see there's obviously a new dais here. It is currently still under construction, so we're sort of winging it a little bit tonight with a little bit of a makeshift dais, but earlier tonight, you can go to WCJB and check out the news coverage. We had our ribbon cutting. It was great. We probably had, I don't know, 100, 125 people, 150 people out here to enjoy the celebration with us. So it went very good, and I'm sure some of the commissioners and staff will have comments about it later on in the evening. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and move to our first presentation tonight, which is a proclamation by Mr. Larry Wilson. And I'm sorry, the maker of the motion for the approval of the agenda was who?
Commissioner Long, seconded
Long
by
and
Coleman.
Yes, I'm sorry. All right, perfect, thank you. All right, so this will be a proclamation to the city of Newberry, Florida, celebrating and thanking Larry Wilson. Great. Woohoo. All right. All right, yeah, come on up, Larry. So Larry is generous.
Okay, all right, I can handle it.
Whereas Larry Wilson has generously volunteered his time and talents with the Newberry Main Street organization, serving on its board and as curator of the Firehouse Gallery. And whereas through the Firehouse Art Gallery, Mr. Wilson has helped provide local artists a place to show and sell their work while also encouraging residents and visitors to spend time and money in downtown Newberry. And whereas in 2025, the Firehouse Art Gallery generated $3,470 in sales, demonstrating its positive contribution to local artists and the downtown economy. And whereas Mr. Wilson has planned and scheduled gallery shows and opening receptions, and his own artwork has been featured in exhibitions and recognized by fellow artists, including being named the winning artist in the 125th anniversary founding of the Newberry Art Show. And whereas Mr. Wilson redesigned the Newberry Main Street organization logo to reflect the character of downtown Newberry and has donated his artistic talents by painting many of the decorations displayed throughout the downtown area, and Mr. Wilson, whereas supports the success of community festivals, including the Fall Festival, Spring Festival, Barbecue and Blues Festival, and Fabulous 50s Festival, often arriving before daylight to assist with vendor setup and event preparations. Now, therefore, be it resolved that by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Newberry, I do hereby declare January 24th, 2026 as Larry Wilson Day for his service and contributions to this community. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the great city of Newberry, Florida, to be affixed unto this 12th day of January in the year 2026. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
just stay right there. We're going to do a little photo with you and give you an opportunity to say something. I'll come down there.
I'd say that it was an honor and a privilege, truly, to work the gallery. It was a labor of love. And I have to thank the city of Newberry. It's such a unique and special thing for a relatively small, growing fast, but relatively small rural town to allocate space and resources to the arts, in this case, an art gallery. It's a very special and very unique thing, and why we love this community the way we do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. While the mayor makes his way back up here, sir, I just wanted to also add my gratitude to you. I don't know how many times I've come out there at 5:30 in the morning when it's dark and met with you with flashlights, helping people get pulled in. The art show openings, you stepped on board when Main Street was struggling, and you gave your time and your talents, and you really put that art gallery together, and you gave us all something to be proud of. I remember thinking, it's amazing. We got an art gallery in Little Newberry, and people come and they buy art off the walls from local artists. So your contribution has been tremendous, and you deserve this retirement from volunteerism, although I'm sure that Main Street is still going to call you periodically. But thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Wilson, you'll see in the State of the City address in February, one of my topics is Newberry's powered by volunteers, and you're a perfect example of that. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so we are moved to public announcements. These are 2-minute announcements by the public, yard sales, et cetera. If you've got any comments about any organization happenings, please come on up, Miss.
It
Ms.
is
Stacy?
not a yard sale or anything like that. I just wanted to take the opportunity this evening to introduce you to 2 of my new staff members that have just come on board. We have Jane Inouye. Did I say it correctly? Close, Inouye? Okay. She is my new administrative assistant. She comes to us from the Supervisor of Elections office. And we have Jane, you just introduced Jane. Lauren Yetter, who comes to us with 15 years probably experience from the North Central Florida Regional Planning Council. So yeah, she's my assistant director now, and so we're almost fully staffed, but still providing excellent customer service always. Yes, thank you.
Hi, guys. I'm actually here on behalf of 2 organizations this evening, so I'll start with speaking of Main Street. We have a festival coming in February on the 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is the 3rd annual Barbecue and Blues Festival. So come on out, eat lots of food, check out the vendors, pre-order a shirt because those are available. So thank you. It is supports from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then also the Newberry Historical Association. We are looking for oral history volunteers. So anyone that has a story to tell about Newberry, about family in Newberry, events that have happened, we want you. So there is a post up on Facebook now. I literally just put it everywhere, so you should be able to find it. Just fill out our jot form, and we will be in touch with you. We have 4 spots left for this Saturday, which will be our first day. And if you can't find the online information, you can talk to our mayor or any of our other historical association members. So, thank you.
Okay. And if people want to go get a shirt, where should they go?
It is on the Facebook page for Main Street.
Okay, Main Street Facebook page. Thank you, ma'am.
I am also here on behalf of 2 organizations. I'm Marlon Day with the Letchworth County Library District, currently the Newberry branch manager. A couple updates. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. we have a program for preschoolers and toddlers. And on Thursday, January the 22nd at 3 p.m., we're going to have a school-age program for the elementary kids. It's called Hands-On Water Science. It's brought to us by IFAS. They'll discover how water flows and where pollution goes. And it's an interactive program with a 3D landscape model. It should be lots of fun. That's January the 22nd at 3 p.m. So if y'all can share that with people who are interested. On behalf of the chamber, we have a couple of ribbon cuttings coming up. Friday, January 23rd at 5:30 p.m. The new offices at Edward Jones over at Countryway Town Square will be having a ribbon cutting. And February 12th at 9 a.m., Radiant Credit Union at the new Publix Plaza will be having a ribbon cutting. We also have our annual event, Newberry Notables coming up, and it's tentatively set for February 5th. But more information on that will be forthcoming.
Fantastic. Anybody else? All right, seeing none. The next item is our consent agenda, which really basically consists of the meeting minutes from last month. I think that's all we got. Is there a motion? Second by Commissioner, or motion by Commissioner Clark, second by Commissioner Mazon. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Moving right along, public hearing and ordinances. We've got a Newberry Townhomes Small Scale Future Land Use Amendment and legislative hearing on this ordinance. Madam Attorney, would you like to read that into the record while John Paul makes his way up to the podium?
Yes, I will, Commissioners. You're considering ordinance number 2025-84, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, amending ordinance number 4-91 as amended, relating to a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Newberry Comprehensive Plan, providing for a change in future land use classification from residential low density, 4 dwelling units per acre, to residential high density, 20 dwelling units per acre on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, consisting of .72 acres, tax parcel number 02118-003-000, and is more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, providing all ordinance in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. John Paul, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. John Paul Perez with the Community Development Department. As read into the record by the city attorney, the request before the board tonight is to change the future land use classification of a property from residential low density to residential high density. Residential low density being the lowest urban suburban density that we allow in the city, and residential high density being the highest density that we allow in the city. And the Planning and Zoning Board met on December 1st to consider this, recommended adoption of the ordinance granting the change of land use classification. Our motion remains unchanged. It's a motion to approve first reading of the ordinance that would be granting the small-scale future land use map amendment. And second reading will be held on January 26th at 7 p.m. The applicant is JB Pro. The owner of the property is PBR Financials Incorporated. We went over the proposed land use classification change. Currently, the property is zoned single-family RSF2. There's a companion rezoning application that'll follow this item, number 4 on the agenda. The property is approximately 0.72 net acres and approximately 0.94 gross acres. Gross acres comes into play with density. It includes areas out to the center of the right-of-way. So if there is ever a right-of-way taking, that density is not taken away from the property owner. And the parcel number is as read into the record by the city attorney. The location of the property is on 3rd Ave, or at the southeast corner of 3rd Ave and Northwest 251st. It's right behind the post office as you're driving up and down 2741. Here's an aerial, just shows it's a vacant parcel. It's primarily vacant because it lacks sewer. And so this is an opportunity with this land use change to incentivize the development of the property, but also to get sewer down 251st. And 3rd. Here's the current condition of the property. As you can see, it's a lot of young growth on the property. And where it's located in the CRA, which is a benefit to the CRA. It's currently a low tax property and has the potential to become a high tax property in the future. And current land use is residential low density, shown in yellow here. And with the residential high density, not medium density, it would be an orangish color. With the land use classifications, there's a series of zoning categories that the commission is now saying is acceptable for this property. While we do have a companion rezoning application, it's diligent of the board to consider the possibilities of other zoning districts that may be enabled by allowing this land use. So currently, it's primarily with the current residential low density, single family and mobile home, our residential office district, as well as a mobile home park and a planned residential development allowed in residential low density land use category. With the residential high density, it allows for RMF2, which is the companion request that you'll hear next, PRD, which is the planned residential development, and the residential office. So much smaller category of land or zoning districts that could be allowed here. We do have one other residential high density in the city of Newberry. That's Hammock Oak Apartments, and that's the only other real multifamily that we have outside of some duplexes in Old Country Way. That too, I just want to point out compatibility or adjacencies is right next to Newberry Oaks, which are quarter-acre lots, so it's detached single family, and abuts Publix and the O2B site that hasn't come in for permit yet, but there's a general closeness to commercial, major commercial corridors, and it's serving as kind of like a buffer between those commercial uses and lower intensity single-family uses. We looked at level of service in this request and found that there's available capacity to serve the property. We'll look at concurrency once it comes in for site plan and eventually a permit. I'll leave you with our recommended motion, and I'm available for any questions. The applicant also has a presentation for you, and so our folks in the AV booth will be loading it up soon, and unfortunately didn't get in for the deadline, so they'll load it up, and then Tara Howell with JB Pro will give you a brief presentation, and yeah, thank you.
All right. So are we just going to wait and get that queued up for the quasi judicial that's coming up next, or is it ready to go?
It should be coming up shortly. This would be 3A, or the one that says FLU. Yes,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you.
All right. Well, we can begin discussion, and then when it's okay, there we go. Super. Come on down. Yeah. Just introduce yourself, and you got the clicker somewhere right there.
Yes,
Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
thank you. Hi, Mayor, City Manager, thank you, Commission, for seeing us tonight, taking your time to consider this. My name is Tara Howell. I'm a senior planner with JB Pro out of Gainesville, here representing our client before you tonight on the small-scale future land use amendment. I'm going to go through the presentation. A lot of it's going to be a replay of what John Paul's very thorough presentation already showed you, but kind of just give you a little bit more information from our point of view. Again, you already have the parcel information. The owner is PBR Financials. It's located at Northwest 251st Street and Northwest 3rd Avenue. This, very much like Jean Paul's, just shows the difference. It is currently, the subject property is residential low density, which allows a max density of 4 dwelling units per acre. We are asking to have it changed to a future land use of residential high density, which allows a max density of 20 dwelling units per acre. So the compatibility with the surrounding uses, the way that we have evaluated this project, it's logical infill. Its location is within your urban service area. It is currently surrounded by both residential and community serving uses. It supports a walkable, connected neighborhood. It's near existing public infrastructure, and as Jean Paul spoke, it gives the opportunity for that to be extended. It's near major transportation corridors, and it's near other community services as well. To go over a couple of ways that we feel this is consistent with your comprehensive plan. In your future land use element, again, we believe it supports compact, connected, walkable neighborhoods. We also believe it expands the variety of housing options. In your housing element, we believe it advances that missing middle and attainable housing goals that your comprehensive plan speaks of, and it ensures safe, high-quality housing. In your public infrastructure and services element, again, the site will be served by existing water, sewer, and transportation networks that will be extended to the site. Through our concurrency analysis thus far, we see no adverse level of service impacts, and it would be efficient use of your existing public facilities. For your public school facilities, the applicant will obtain required school capacity letters from Alachua County Schools prior to the issuance of their final development order. And again, there is no negative impact anticipated. For your neighborhood impact, just a few points to keep in mind. This increases your housing choice within an established residential area. It respects the surrounding land use pattern and scale. It promotes stable, resilient neighborhood form, and it strengthens neighborhood variety by adding residents who support local services and amenities. In summary, we believe the future land use amendment aligns with your comprehensive plan goals. Again, as follows, it advances the city goal for strategic infill and redevelopment within your urban service area. It strengthens the city's ability to meet projected housing demands. It aligns with the land use designation with available infrastructure capacity. It supports physically responsible growth by maximizing existing utilities and roadways. And it promotes a balanced community structure with a range of housing types and densities. And it supports smart, compact, and infrastructure-ready growth. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Tara. So right now, are entertaining the future land use. We'll go to rezoning next under the quasi judicial. But for right now, we've got a recommended motion by staff to approve on first reading ordinance 2025-84. Is there a motion from the dais? Okay. Go ahead. To who?
Whoever will answer.
Okay.
So how many units can they actually put on this piece of property then? It's not a full acre, so.
Development opportunities will be limited, but the density that's allowed by the proposed land use allows for up to 20 units, and gross acre.
20 units per acre?
20 units per acre
Now,
is.
there's 0.72 acres there?
Well, we would be using the gross density which is about 0.94, so that would net maybe 18, 19 units if they were to seek to maximize it.
All right.
I don't know where they would park, though.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, am not in favor of this. I mean, it's a single-family area. There's single family would be in the north side, single family on the west side, and 2 single families on the south side. I don't like the idea of just doing spot zoning like this. So I would not be supporting this.
Any other questions from the dais for either staff or applicant? Going once, going twice. All right, is there a motion to approve from the dais? Going once, going twice? All right, no motion. Okay. No, item number 4 is the Newberry
Mr. Mayor, we need
Townhomes rezone.
we need a motion to deny. We need a motion. We can't have no
Are you
motion.
sure enough?
Okay, I'll move to deny the request.
Is there a second?
Mr. Mayor, would you like to ask any questions from the applicant or staff before? Since there is no second, that motion died. You want to ask
Yeah,
them more questions before we?
Yeah, you want to talk through this or what?
JP, can you, based on Commissioner Farnsworth's statement there, just give the whole dais a better understanding of what they're going to build here? or do we even know that yet? Is this apartments coming? Is this, because you definitely can't do single-family dwellings there, and you can't do 18, 19 tiny homes. Is this a duplex, a condos side by side? What's the process here? What do you think we're building here? Is there even a plan yet to what they want to build, or just trying to get it zoned first?
So you nailed it on the head. We're, at this point, all they can request are the land use and zoning to make it appropriate for the project that they want to build, and to consider the land use with the actual development, I think would be maybe inappropriate at this time, that we need to wait for the actual application to come before the commission. And I'd like to defer to the applicant to talk a little bit more to your question. Thank you.
Well, she's coming up. I know the city manager, not to put you on the spot, you always have a good description of kind of what the order of things is and why we don't want to jump ahead all the way to the end about what's going to physically be there before we talk about land use and
I appreciate
zoning.
that, Mr. Mayor. And I do think, depending on however this conversation goes, I'd like some feedback from the dais, because I think this application fits what we believe we've heard from the dais: infill projects, beef up the CRA, all of those kinds of things. So if this isn't what the commission wants, but right now, all we're really talking about is future land use. So there are no final decisions. We don't know exactly, what the layout is going to be, what the plat's going to be. I'm sure the applicant, if they can get to the next step, would take the feedback that they hear. But this is an application for future land use that we believe we've heard that the commission supports. The number of units and the style of the units and the architect, all that's going to come later in the process. Right now, we're just talking about, is this an infill project, the type of project that the commission wants to see in these locations? I think some of the questions that Commissioner Farnsworth raised are great concerns, but they would be addressed later down the line, if we get down the line.
Madam Applicant, can you get more to add?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I do just want to speak from my clients, which are the current owners. I can tell you what their anticipated plans are, and kind of why this actually does make really good sense for this location. One of the things that they looked at was the consideration that it is a good transitional way to move from more commercial uses into single family. Their plan are townhomes, which are attached single-family residences. Based on that, based on the size of the property, the parking requirements, stormwater, their current anticipated plan is 8 units. So this is not for our current owners that are before you tonight. It is not a plan currently to be any type of, large multi-family development. The size of the property, again, will limit what's available to be built. And please remember that when we do come back for the site and development plan, we still have to prove compatibility with the surrounding areas. So we would not be able to come in and approach you all with something that was completely out of character with the area. And again, this is very close to existing infrastructure. This project, once completed and successful, will expand your infrastructure into that area. It's in an area right next to the post office, so and other community services, which make a great location for these 8 different families to be able to easily walk to these locations. So that is, again, the current owner's anticipated goal of the project.
Stand by. Monty, you had a follow-up?
Just the fact that you're doing spot zoning, and once we change the zoning of that, you'll be able to come back in and put 8 units in, or if you decide to put 15 units in or something like that, I mean, that's always a possibility. You could sell the property to somebody else once the zoning has been changed, and they might have a different vision than what you guys have. I just don't believe that we should be putting a multifamily unit in the middle of single-family units.
Well, again, these are actually attached single-family units. Each unit will be sold under individual ownership. So it's not, the intended project is not, for instance, rentals that would be owned by one person and have multiple different families transitioning in and out. They are single-family units that are attached.
John Paul, can you come up real quick? Sorry, Tara. We actually kind of addressed a couple of those things in the P and Z meeting, which, quite honestly, they're usually tougher than you than you guys are, and really kind of busted their chops about this. But to that point, I think it was Board Member Carey was asking about height, and I think it's important to maybe speak to the additional sort of, I don't know if they're necessarily corridor restrictions, but there are other overlaying things here that which kind of restrict not having a 15-story building right there in the middle or anything like that. So you remember,
Yes.
you recall what I'm talking about?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So it does fall in the overlay. Maximum height in the overlay is 45 feet for the ultimate height of the structure. There's a lot of design constraints because there's no stormwater in the area. They have to provide stormwater on site. So the more their parking lot grows, the more the stormwater basin grows, and that creates a competing interest for providing a greater number of units on the property, and with the until stormwater is available in the downtown area, you're not going to see them maximizing the density that would be allowed here. And in fact, the only reason they selected this density is because they're really after the zoning district, and the zoning district happens to only be allowed in the residential high. Otherwise, they would have gone with a more appropriate for the project that they are designing, which would have been the 8 units per acre. But because of the way our comp plan's set up, they went with the high.
Sounds good. Any other discussion?
I do.
Commissioner Maison?
All right, so I think what happened with me, which is why I got silent when Monty said what he said, was I was confused with the density from medium to high density. So we're at, right now, as it sits, it's under medium right now.
It's low right now.
And they're wanting to put it, it's on the low, and they're wanting to put it to high density?
High. Yes.
Okay, so I guess I don't have a problem with it. I actually, drive throughout the city of Gainesville, and I saw Sorrento. Sorrento actually has the same exact property, and they have 9 units, dwelling units, and it looks good. It looks perfect. It looks good. My question is, I'm seeing that you want to go to high density, and you mentioned 8 units, but I see 8 units under medium density.
Yes, Commissioner, thank you for that question. So originally, when we had done our submittal, we had asked for medium density. In the meantime, the city of Newberry had finished a comprehensive plan update, and Jean Paul made the new adopted comprehensive plan available to us. And so when we went back and reviewed what happened, only I can speak from an applicant's point of view, is the multifamily, because these are attached units, they have to be zoned as multifamily. And so the multifamily that we needed for the size lots, because this is such a small piece of property, would only fit into multifamily 2, and multifamily 2 is now only allowed in the future land use of high density. So we did not intentionally select high density because we, meaning my clients, are at all interested or even have the ability on this size of property to fit anywhere near the maximum amount of units. It was solely because of the way the comprehensive plan was structured and what zoning categories are now compatible in that future land use.
Okay, yeah, so I got a better understanding, so I'm good with moving forward with the land use.
Okay, so we had a motion that did not have a second. If we don't get a second, that motion will fail for lack of a second, which, do I hear a second at this time? Okay, so that motion sunsets.
Mr. Mayor, but before you ask for another motion, I know this commission takes precedence into consideration. It's not always a defining characteristic. Moreland is not exactly the same as this project, but it's a very similar project. Moreland is the project that's right next to Little Red Schoolhouse. Those are detached townhomes, but it's a very similar project. So I just want to make sure the commission is cognizant of that we have approved things very similar to this as infill projects as a way to, you know, figure out how to make sure these, and again, I always take the opportunity to tell everybody, if there's a vacant lot in Newberry, there's a reason it's vacant. And it probably has to do with our inability to get sewer there in a economically feasible way. One way to overcome those economics is higher density. So I just want to put that history in front of you guys before you make that motion, just to fill out the context.
Okay.
Mr. Manager? So the property that you refer to is a lot larger area, and they're putting tiny homes in there? We're not talking about tiny homes here, sir.
No, that property is.
So they're detached townhouses at Moreland. Moreland is
Not
townhouses,
lot-
tiny houses, they're detached.
Hold on, one
Right.
one at a time, guys.
And I believe that lot was an acre and.
John Paul, you have the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, so Moreland is proposing detached single-family homes. Will kind of look like a shotgun-style house.
Okay.
They're gonna be that's why I
But
said
it's not
similar.
a townhouse.
Right, that's why I said similar.
Or,
They're gonna
or
be,
multi-family housing.
they're just
They're separate.
shotgun houses that are detached, but they're in that same, like I drive down the middle and I go into the house that way. So that's why I said similar, not the same. I chose that word carefully.
Okay, is there a motion? Okay, Commissioner Clark has a question or comment.
With all due respect to Commissioner Farnsworth, I have personally lived in some of these when I had my first child. And the residential place around us was all brick homes. If they're built and built right, and there's 8 of these are actually good for this area. And when we say the area that we're in is all residential, is not. You're the same lot beside the fire station, within a quarter of your lot, and you're behind the post office. So all of this around it is commercial. The only thing you're doing is extending the exact what the post office would have done if they would have bought and built. We agreed on that. They were going to buy and build on this here to make it bigger, and then they backed out. So for me, I'm just saying this is I think this would be a great fill-in. This lot ain't done nothing but sit there empty, and if they bring the sewer and the water to this, kudos to them. But for me, I think it'd be great for our CRA to fill this in.
Okay. All right, so I'm back to hearing a motion. Is there a motion to recommend approval? I have a motion. Is it going to be seconded? Motion by Commissioner Mazon, seconded by Commissioner Clark. If there's no further discussion, is there any comment from the public? Ms. Glanzer? Come on down.
Joy Glanzer. This is the first I heard of this, but I'm in favor of this. I'd like to speak for it. We're in dire need of this type of housing. We don't have very much in Newberry. Hopefully, because it's attached and smaller, it will be more affordable than others. And to speak about spot zoning, to me, this really isn't like spot zoning. We did that with putting an industrial park in an agricultural zone. That's spot zoning to me. This is already in a residential area. And like who just said, you know, it's right behind the post office next to, there's an auto repair place. And we just really need this type of zoning. This type of housing there. We have very little apartments in Newberry, and again, we've already approved this kind of thing in the Old Country Way on 15th Avenue. There's all those attached houses, you know, on that road. So I would be in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other further public comment? Commissioner Farnsworth, you had something else also, or no?
No, and, well, the other concern of mine is the impact on the value of the property surrounding it, so I just don't think it's good for the residents that live in that area.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? No, he doesn't know. Actually, just let me do a roll call. Commissioner Coleman? Commissioner Farnsworth? Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Mazon? Motion passes 3-1 with Mr. Long has stepped away. So the next item is number 4 on this property. This is going to be the quasi-judicial for the rezoning. So let me go ahead and read through this. We're entering a quasi-judicial procedure. This means that the commission will stop being a legislative body and become a judicial board, which means that we have to follow certain rules and adhere to different standards of decision-making. The primary rule we must follow concerns testimony, and the substantial and competent evidence standard must be met when the judicial board makes a decision. This standard states the following, quote, "All public testimony will be taken under oath. Everyone testifying will be subject to cross-examination. All documents and exhibits shall be entered into evidence. The giving of opinion testimony is limited to experts. Closing arguments will be limited to the evidence of record." Now I'm going to ask the attorney to read into the record the ordinance or resolution by title and number. Madam Attorney.
Yes, this is ordinance number 2025-85, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of .72 contiguous acres, amending the official zoning atlas of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations, providing for rezoning from residential single-family RSF2 to residential multifamily RMF2 zoning district on certain lands within the corporate limits of the City of Newberry, Florida, tax parcel number 02118-003-000, and more particularly described in Exhibit A, providing severability, providing all repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Ms. Shalley. Now we're going to ask the city clerk to swear in anybody who is applicant, staff, or participant for anything tonight that we have before the quasi-judicial. Please stand, raise your right hand, and be collectively sworn in.
Please state your name for the record.
John Paul Perez.
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You've been duly sworn. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we begin, we'll need to disclose any ex parte communications, disclose whether any member physically inspected the property. Ex parte communications are conversations or transmission of information that may have bearing or influence on any voting member's decision. So I'll now explain the order of the presentations that we will have. First will be the staff overview, then the applicant presentation, then the staff report and recommendation. I've not been contacted by anybody wishing to claim third-party intervener status. The next item will be the public comment. You'll have 3 minutes. Then the applicant and party and staff will all have given an opportunity to cross-examine. Members of the decision-making body through the chair may ask questions following that of the staff applicant or any participants. Final argument may be made at that time, and then the city attorney will advise the decision-making body of the applicable law and factual findings that must be made to approve or deny the application. Deliberations will ensue about the application, followed by a motion to approve with conditions, continue, or deny the application. Fair enough. Okay, so let's start with the staff overview. Jean-Paul, you have this one as well?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. For the
have-
record, John Paul Perez with the Community Development Department.
Mr. Mayor, ex parte.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's do the ex parte. We'll start on the far left. Commissioner Coleman, thank you.
None.
Commissioner Long?
None.
Commissioner Farnsworth? Commissioner Clark? Commissioner Mazon? Okay, and I do not either. Okay, thank you for the correction. Jean-Paul, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The request before the commission tonight is a rezoning from single-family RSF2 to multifamily RMF2. This is the companion request for the future land use. Heard by the Planning and Zoning Board at their December 1st regular meeting. They recommended adoption of the ordinance granting the rezoning. Our motion remains the same. Motion to approve on first reading. Second reading, if passed tonight, will be heard on January 26th at 7 p.m. The applicant is JB Pro. Owners PBR Financials Incorporated. Current zoning of the property is single family. Again, they want the multifamily. RMF2, just for the commission's edification, is like our most intense residential district for zoning. The land use is proposed to be changed to residential high density, net acreage 0.72 acres, a gross acreage 0.94 acres, and the parcel number is 02118-003-000. Here's an image showing the general location of the property within the city limits. Is it okay if I ask the city clerk if I can proceed through my presentation? given we're having trouble flipping between presentations between my like the main commission presentation and the applicant presentation.
Yes, sir, that'll be fine.
Okay,
As long as
thank
the
you.
applicant doesn't have a problem with it. All right.
Thank you. All right, remarkably similar presentation, so I'll get to the good stuff. And the proposed map changes that you'd be seeing in the zoning atlas. And I want to get to the uses, just so you can see what the big differences are between the two districts. And it's not a lot of difference between the two. So for the single-family district, the only uses that are permitted in the single-family that aren't in the multifamily are commercial greenhouses and plant nurseries, as well as childcare centers as special exceptions. Otherwise, both districts allow for single-family as a by right, park and rec areas for by right, community residential homes by right, and elementary and middle schools by right. In the multifamily district, in addition to single-family, allows for duplex and multifamily, and as for the schools, in addition, allows for high schools to be located there by right. As far as the special exceptions, they given that the Board of Adjustment would grant the special exception, group living facilities, nursing homes, and assisted living facilities are the only new uses introduced to the district. All right. Setbacks are remarkably similar, though they do get more intense with the multifamily. So they, instead of having a 25-foot front yard setback, they have a 30-foot front yard setback. But other than that, remarkably similar. And as far as the uses go, for lot area, for single family, with the RMF2 zoning district, they would need to provide a 7,500 square foot lot. That's the equivalent of our RSF3, or our most intense detached single family specific zoning district. Duplexes need to provide a 10,000 square foot lot. That's remarkably similar to Old Country Way along the south side of 15th Ave. Those are 10,000 square foot lots with duplexes on them. And then the multifamily development, they have a minimum area that they need to meet of 16,335 square feet, which is like a third of an acre. They have the equivalent of like 3/4 of an acre net. And then there's a performance requirement of land area to number of units provided for a multifamily as well. So it'll all depend on the housing type, but it'll most likely be based on the plans we've seen qualified as a multifamily development type. Concurrency is going to be determined at time of development plan review, but that's both site plan and building permit. Impact fees do apply to this development, so more units, more impact fees, more money for roads and public buildings. And this offers an opportunity to extend utilities to the site. That completes my presentation. That's my motion on the screen. I'm going to get our lovely AV folks from Vivid Sky to switch over to the next rezoning presentation, and they're on it. I love it. Thank you, Erica. And I will step away. Tara will step up and give you guys a presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Hello again, Commission. Thank you very much for taking even more time to hear from us. So this is the companion rezoning. Again, my name is Tara Howell with JB Pro. I'm here on behalf of our clients. So we will go through, a lot like Jean-Paul, a remarkably similar presentation for you. So again, we already know the location of the property as well as the property information. Here is a look at the change in the current zoning. Again, this indicates a clear transition area between the higher intense uses of commercial and the single family, with your multifamily in between. So again, some of the compatibility with your surrounding area, vacant infill parcel within an established residential area, since this will be a residential development. RMF2 maintains residential character while also expanding the type of housing choices in the area. It's going to be compatible scale with adjacent single-family homes, complementary to nearby commercial and public uses, And it does not create an isolated zoning district because this is still a residential zoning district. I also, and I may speak out of turn, this may be on here later, but I did just want to clarify a little bit of information as well too. As one of you mentioned earlier, when we're looking at projects where the owner, the developer, is having to invest in expanding the infrastructure in order for their project to be successful, they obviously have to consider the cost. And so one of the issues when they looked at this piece of property with a strong desire to do this type of residential housing was the difference in the lot size requirements. Again, this is a very small piece of property for a residential development. And as Jean-Paul showed you earlier, the RMF1 required a minimum lot size of 5,445 square feet per unit. So when they did the calculations, they were not going to be able to have units enough to compensate for the investment that they will have to put out for the infrastructure. That is why the decision was made to go to the RMF2, because that requires 2,178 square foot lot per unit, which allowed them to get the 8 units that they're looking for. So just some reassurance that, again, this is not a site that is feasible for the maximum density, although I could understand the concern if it was. So consistency with your land development code, it conforms to your comprehensive plan residential goals. It aligns with the surrounding land use pattern. It does not adversely affect traffic, drainage, or access to light and air. No negative impacts on adjacent property values. We expect it to be quite the opposite, as these will be new, highly custom constructed, single-family attached homes. It does not grant any type of special privilege, supports public welfare, and again, RMF2 aligns with the intent of a medium to high-density residential district. Consistent with your comprehensive plan in much of the same way as the future land use amendment was consistent, supports combat-connected walkable neighborhoods, expands your housing choices. It's served by what will be extended existing water, sewer, and transportation. No level of service negative impacts. It advances that missing middle housing goal, and it ensures safe, high-quality housing. And of course, during the development phase, the owner and applicant will comply with any public school facility requirements. Again, reiterating, it increases your housing choices. We've heard tonight there's not a lot of varieties in the different housing choices. I know that's something that is mentioned throughout your comprehensive plan that was newly adopted many, many times. So we feel like this fits perfectly in the goal of Newberry. It respects the surrounding land use pattern and scale by being an 8-unit, single-family attached development, promotes stable, resilient neighborhood form, and strengthens the neighborhood vitality by adding residents who will support your local services and amenities. In summary, the RF2 rezoning supports your long-term housing goals. It's compatible with surrounding land uses. It meets both your land development code criteria and your comprehensive plan standards. It improves your housing choices and creates a predictable, orderly development pattern within your urban service area. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any public comment? You have 3 minutes for each comment. Seeing none, this opportunity to cross-examine, does the applicant or the staff wish to cross-examine anything that was said during the presentations? Seeing none, members of the decision-making body through the chair may now ask questions of the staff or the applicant. Does anybody have any questions? Commissioner Farnsworth.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, at one point in time, I think many years ago, it was voted that any property within the 1 block of 41 or 26 would have to be, if it got rezoned, it had to be rezoned commercial. So I need to clarify that and have that researched and brought back, please.
Okay. Okay. Well, does staff have a answer on the fly here to that by any chance?
I do not. I haven't seen that regulation, but we can look into it before second reading.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not aware of any stipulation. I know that in the overlay district, is this outside of the overlay? It's more than 100 feet, so they're not in the overlay district. So
I
even
believe
if
it touches the overlay.
it touches, but it's not. And I think that if there is a vote from the time, I would imagine that the new comp plan and the new overlay district have superseded. There's always that clause at the end, passing this now voids anything in conflict. So that vote has never taken place in the 15 years that I've been involved. And I'm not saying the commissioner's wrong about it, but
Right, I'm thinking it was before you were involved, so.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, any other further discussion or questions?
I'll just say again, I think it offers diversity throughout that area, like Mark Clark said, so good job. I think it'll add to Newberry.
All right, very good. If there's nothing else, does any of the applicant or staff wish to make a closing argument or anything? Rest? Okay. All right, and Madam Attorney, please advise the decision-making body as to the applicable law and factual findings that must be made to approve or deny this application.
Yes, the commission must find that the application meets the essential requirements of the law, and you have to base your decision on the competent substantial evidence that you've heard in this public hearing.
Thank you, madam. If there's no further deliberations, I'll entertain a motion at this
So
time.
moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Coleman and a second by Commissioner Clark. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
You guys have it unanimous. Pardon me. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you say the other way. I know, but I wouldn't have asked for an opposing vote if I heard everybody was unanimous. Right? That's fine. That's fine. The motion passes 4-1. Thank you. All right, item number 5, revisions to section 4.2, 4.2 of the accessory dwelling units. Do we have something to read into the record, madam? Go ahead.
This is ordinance number 2025-74, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, text of the City of Newberry Land Development Regulations as amended to amend Appendix B, the Land Development Regulations, specifically Article 4, Section 4.2.4.2, accessory dwelling units as defined therein, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
All right, Madam Hectus, you have the floor.
Good evening. The item this evening, I want to apologize. You are not the Planning and Zoning Board. The City Commission can approve the changes, deny the changes, table, or continue the item as proposed. The next hearing will be on January 26th at 7 p.m. here in the new chambers. So we have been, I was looking at our accessory dwelling unit regulations. It was brought up to me at the last annexation number 39, why our size of our accessory dwelling unit is smaller than Alachua County's. So I went ahead and am giving you a little history on the accessory dwelling units here, what they actually are, how we're able to utilize them, and then I'll explain a little bit how we got to where we are. So accessory dwelling units are additional dwelling units where there's a primary dwelling unit located on the property. In the 2017-2018 legislative session, the state granted local governments permission to allow ADUs without being penalized for the density. As many of you here, we have so many dwelling units per acre, and with the comprehensive plan and the way that's adopted, you're now putting, in essence, 2 homes on those parcels. Well, before, the state wouldn't allow you to do that. So they've allowed it through this legislative session to allow accessory dwelling units. And so we adopted, when that happened, the city adopted their accessory dwelling unit regulations. And that was in 2018, right after that legislative session, or during that, at the end of that legislative session. The allowable zoning districts that ADUs are allowed in are agriculture, RSF, single family, RSF, MH, which is mobile home, RMH, PRRD, MU, PRD, and PD. And again, when you build one on your property, your property is getting assessed double. It's considered a taxable home dwelling unit. How we got here, again, I said at annexation 39, a couple questions came up. I guess we had a question prior to that. Why is our ADU size so much smaller than Alachua County? We had an annexation, as you will remember, that pulled out at the end because they were in the process of getting bids on their accessory dwelling unit. And when we told them our size limitation, they decided, well, we're going to hold off on their annex, but we're going to hold off on our land use and our zoning. So we looked at the Alachua County regulations, and that's what I'll be sharing with you this evening. And then also, we changed a couple things in the code, in our existing ADU. We've gotten, especially in the rural areas, the requirements require you to attach to that same septic system. You got 25 acres. You might not really want to be right next to your loved one. So we took some of those provisions out, and there was a couple state agency names that have changed since 2018. Oops. So, sorry. Again, City Commission, you can approve the changes, deny the changes, table, or continue the item as proposed. And the change specifically was from 1,200 square feet to 1,700 square feet, as the staff report says. And I
Very
can answer
good.
any questions you have.
Thank you, Ms. Hexis. I appreciate it. Is there any questions from the dais of staff? And we'll be going, I should remind everyone, we're going to be considering these back under the as a legislative body now versus the judicial. So any questions, comments from the dais?
I have one.
Commissioner Farnsworth.
So with the change, and you said that it would just increase the taxable amount for that parcel or that area. Before we had them separate, it could be on separate electric and all, is that,
No, they were all on the same.
okay?
Yeah.
Because I thought when we approved the mother-in-law thing that we were doing separate utilities.
Yeah, they'll have separate utilities, but they have to be on the same septic system.
Okay.
Are you talking about the meter?
And yes,
Yeah.
the power meter. And then when assessed, they're still assessed, so you get the 2 fire assessments. You know, it's double, it's a dwelling unit, so it's considered another house on your property.
So the only thing this is changing is the size of the.
That's
of
correct.
What's allowed, okay.
That's correct. And we changed, like I said, a couple Scrivener's things for state agency names, and we changed the, on 10 acres or more, you do not have to attach to that same septic system.
Commissioner Clark?
Yeah, Stacy, so I got that, the way that septic works. But when you're in the rural area, you're saying you still have to use it on 5 acres or less?
Yes, so 10 acres or more, you do not have to attach it because we know that the minimum acreage in ag is 5. So if somewhere down the road you wanted to split the land, you would at least hopefully have put it in a location where you can split off legal 5 acres.
Yeah, well, is this our rule saying the 5 acres on the same septic or the state or county?
It's across the board. If you look at 5 or 6 different ADU regulations, they all want to connect. We're separating it out 10 acres and above.
Okay, I was just thinking, because out in the rural area, if you're on one side, piece of property is 500, 600, 700 feet. You can't build another home over there and run septic 300 or 400 feet, so you gotta be right up under each other.
Yeah, yeah.
It's plenty of land, that's my point.
Right, but you can't divide it. And so a lot of times when you have ADUs on these properties, they want to come in and divide the land off. You wouldn't be able to meet the minimum density in that zoning district of ag. That's why we said after 10, so hopefully if you locate it on there strategically, you'd be able to split it
Well,
off
I got you, but
appropriately.
if you're in town, it's a whole different ballgame than being out in the woods.
That's why we said 10 acres. That's why we said ag.
2 septic tanks could be
Yes.
400 feet apart,
Right,
600 feet apart.
yes.
So, but this is abiding by a comp plan, state, county, on their 5 acres, 1 septic. Who makes the law, us or them?
Well, the health department is the one that approves any septic systems.
Okay.
I'm setting the city up for not having problems when someone wants to divide that ADU off and
got
not be
you.
able to
And
meet the
keep 5
density.
acres.
That's correct.
Any other questions or comments from the dais? Is anybody ready to make a motion at this time? Commissioner Long on a motion. Do I hear a second? Second from Commissioner Clark. Any other further discussion from the dais? The public? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. I apologize for not hearing Commissioner Farnsworth earlier incorrectly. Commissioner Coleman? Commissioner Long? Commissioner Farnsworth? Commissioner Clark? Commissioner Mazon? Motion passes 5-0. All right, now to the meat of the evening and the agenda, annexations, number 40. We've got 11 enclaves and parcels. We'll try to make this otherwise very duplicitous process as quick as possible. The biggest opportunity is to make sure that we have public comment in the middle of each of these hearings. So what do we want to start with? Readings, Madam Attorney, first?
Yes.
Or
Yep.
right?
This is ordinance number 2025-76, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of unincorporated Alachua County that includes parcel number 02696-010-0005, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use, zoning, and land development regulations and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. Ms. Hectus?
I'm good. I have all the, I've listed them up there as she goes through them.
Gotcha. Very good. Any discussion from the dais? Any from the public? All those in favor signify by saying aye. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimous. 77?
Next up is ordinance number 2025-77, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, who made that motion? We missed it.
Motion?
Is that who made the was there a motion before they made?
There
No.
wasn't.
Okay, so we have
Pardon me.
Mazon on the first, Commissioner Long on the second.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All in favor?
All those in favor of that motion, sorry, please signify by saying aye. Motion passes unanimous. All right.
So we were in, that
77,
includes,
77.
yes, 77, that includes parcel number 01925-003-000, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use, zoning, and land development regulations and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Any comments or questions from the dais? Any from the public? Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Mazon and Commissioner Long on the second. If there's no further discussions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion passes unanimous. 78.
Ordinance number 2025-78, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of unincorporated Alachua County that includes parcel number 04269-001-000, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use, zoning, and land development regulations and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Ms. Shalley. Any discussion or question from the dais? Any public comment? Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Long on the motion, second on Commissioner Clark. If there's nothing further, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion passes unanimous. 79.
Ordinance number 2025-79, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of unincorporated Alachua County that includes parcel number 04399-004-002, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use zoning and land development regulations, and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Ms. Shelley. Is there any discussion from the dais? Any questions? Any from the public? Do I hear a motion on this one? Commissioner Mazon and Commissioner Long on that one. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying Newberry. Newberry's have it unanimous. Number 81.
Ordinance number 2025-81, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of unincorporated Alachua County that includes parcel number 01833-004-000 and 01833-003-001, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use zoning and land development regulations and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Madam Attorney. Is there any discussion from the dais? Hearing none. Any from the public? All right. As you can see, this is the same party for both parcels. Do I hear a motion? All right, enthusiasm. Commissioner Mazon on the motion, Commissioner Coleman on the second, though I grant he was louder. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Motion passes unanimous. The next four, number 82, Madam Attorney.
Ordinance number 2025-82, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of unincorporated Alachua County that include parcel number 01765-001-000, parcel 01770-000-000, parcel 01772-000-000, parcel 01772-001-000, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use zoning and land development regulations, and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there any discussion or questions from the dais on that one? Seeing none. Any from the public? Seeing none. If there's no further deliberations, is there a motion to? Motion by Commissioner Mazon, a second by Commissioner Clark. Got it? All those in favor, if there's no other deliberations, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous. Okay, last one, right? 83?
Ordinance number 2025-83, an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, annexing certain portions of unincorporated Alachua County that includes parcel number 04391-002-000, as more particularly described in this ordinance, as petitioned for by the property owner pursuant to Section 171.044 Florida statutes, making certain findings, providing for land use zoning and land development regulations and enforcement of the same, providing directions to the clerk of the commission, providing severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Ms. Shelley. Is there any further discussion from the dais? Any from the public? Seeing none, is there a motion? Commissioner Clark on the motion, Commissioner Long on the second. And if there's no other further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying, welcome to Newberry.
Welcome to Newberry.
Motion passes unanimous. Welcome to Newberry. Those are second readings, so
Those are final.
closes everything out on those.
I just wanted to make note that that was 7 applications, 11 parcels, and a total of 227 acres of voluntary annexation, folks that want to join the city.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Ms. Hectus. All right, we pulled item number 7 at the owner's request, so we move on to item number 8, the CSX easement amendment, and my paperwork says city manager has this one. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. So, Mr. Mayor, I come to you tonight very pleased and proud. I think it was in 2018 that we had a series of community workshops. We had 3 large public works projects that we presented to the town, we presented to the commission. City Hall was ranked number 1, and extending Seaboard Drive all the way down to Southwest 15th Avenue was number 2. And due to the hard work of our staff, particularly Assistant City Manager Jamie Jones, we were able to negotiate with CSX, and we now, depending on how the vote goes tonight, will have an easement that will get us that grid that we have been looking for in downtown. It will get Seaboard Drive down to Southwest 15th. And I also want to extend my gratitude to CSX because in realizing that we are in an out-of-budget cycle, we just passed our budget by the time these negotiations were finished, they have also agreed to allow us to split the payment. So we pay them $100,000 now, we pay them $100,000 at the next budget. That allows us to spread the payments out over time. We're not building the road yet. That hurdle is still yet to be jumped, but this was the first hurdle of getting the easement so that we have the opportunity, the powers within this commission's hands, what kind of road they want, when they want to build the road. So that is what is in front of you tonight. We went all the way back into the 50s, I believe, to pull up the easements that agreements that we had with them. And so I put it into the commission's hands at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Fantastic. Does the dais have any questions of the manager about how this came about or anything at all?
Yeah, what's gonna be, what's gonna be the cost?
The cost of the easement or the road?
Both?
The road will be determined later when we decide what the design is and what we actually want to put in there, so that's unknown at this point. But the purchase property for the easement is $200,000.
$200,000.
And,
That'll extend Seaboard from roughly, was it Southwest 2nd all the way down to 15th? Do you have a mileage distance by any chance?
It is half a mile.
Half a mile.
Somewhere half a mile. I will also say thank you to CSX because we sold a much smaller piece of land to them for a lot more money than what CSX is.
You said that out loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're well aware. They know we're a small town. They're seeking to help. So
and, also did we extend another road further down? So we have 2 connections now?
we'll now, so in this last budget cycle, the commission approved the purchase extension from 254th Street, yes,
Street.
to 253rd Terrace. We're in the middle of designing that now, so the commission approved the land purchase and the engineering. We'll bring that back to you guys in the next budget cycle. So that will give us 2 north-south connections. For all those parents trying to get dropped off, we should have lots of ways to flow in and out,
Plenty of,
hopefully.
are we still working on the roundabout?
For 235 and Newberry Lane,
No,
or for 15th and 27th.
right.
That's in FDOT's hands right now. I would categorize it as slightly stalled. But to Commissioner Mazon's point, with our staff, we're going to get it right back on track.
Okay. In Newberry's heyday, we had 30 trains come through Newberry every day, back 30 a day. Can you imagine, think we're getting any complaints nowadays if we had 30?
I wouldn't go on Facebook if we still had 30 trains coming
We
through
probably
every
have
day.
bridges like Hawthorne going over the tracks if we had 30 going through there a day now. All right, if there's any other further deliberations, is there any questions from the audience, from the public? All right, would someone like to make a motion?
Mayor, there is a resolution associated with this, so I'll need to read the title.
Boy.
I didn't miss Nicole, I'm sorry. We've been working on this for 8 years.
That's all right. That's good. It's resolution number 2026-5, a resolution of the City of Newberry, Florida, authorizing the acquisition of additional easement area for road right-of-way along Seaboard Drive from CSX Transportation, authorizing the city manager to execute the first agreement amendment and to take all other actions necessary to effectuate the acquisition, repealing all resolutions in conflict and establishing an effective date.
You're seeing firsthand why it takes a team tonight. All right, so we're at the point we will entertain a motion. Commissioner Coleman as the motion, and Mr. Mazon with the, Mr. Coleman with the motion, Mr. Mazon with the second. Pardon me. If there's no further discussion, please signify by saying CSX. CSX have it. Motion passes unanimous. All right. Tanglewood Water Tower Services. Mr. Green, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commission. My name is Rance Green. I'm the Utility and Public Works Director. I'm coming to you tonight to talk about the engineering services for Tanglewood Water Tower. Woodard and Kern has presented engineering services to the city of Newberry for the construction of a water main extension and elevated storage tank to address the capacity needs, fire flow, redundancy, and future demands. The task order includes 3 phases: bidding services, construction administration, and the option residential project service representative. The total estimated budget is $342,000, contingent on final approval of Florida Department of Environmental Protection. This project is part of the city's capital improvement plan and funded through FRS loans and grant. The project timeline: anticipated bidding in January 2026, construction starting in June 2026, and completion around May of 2027. City staff recommends entering into a contract with Woodard and Curran in the amount of $342,000 for contract services, and authorize the city manager to approve change orders not to exceed 15%. And I'm here to answer any questions that you guys may have.
Thank you, Mr. Rance. So this is a 2-parter, and you'll see in the backup what questions, comments do we have from the dais of Mr. Green? None? None?
So the bidding hopefully goes out next week, as what Mr. Jones was saying, and then we hope to be able to start construction around, what do you have in here?
You have June 26th.
Yeah, June of 2026.
Okay.
So goes to bid soon, construction start in June, completion in May of next year.
Yes, sir.
And do you have an estimate of the total cost of the project?
No, sir, we put it at a bid,
No.
we'll see what it comes back
Not
at.
yet.
Yes, sir.
Get it out to bid, we get all that back. This is just for the contract services part of this. So
Correct,
we're
yes, sir.
pulling in Woodard and Curran as basically a consultant to help us, because last time I checked, I don't think any of us know how to build a water tower.
They are the CM grants.
Yes, sir. They'll be doing the construction services, yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? All right, is there a motion from the dais?
Motion.
Commissioner Mazon with the motion, Commissioner Long with, Commissioner Mazon with the motion, Commissioner Long on the second. Is there any public comment on the motion to approve? Seeing none, if there's no further deliberations, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Okay. Looks like that takes us to public comment. Citizens first, 5-minute limit. Seeing none, city manager. Oh, all right.
I did forget some
Fancy.
things earlier.
Fancy.
You're ready to go home?
No, we
I
got more
know.
to do. We got a whole CRA to do.
I forgot some really cool things about the Barbecue and Blues Festival that I thought were worth mentioning. We have the most contestants that we've ever seen, so I hope our judges that are coming are so ready. I think we have 11 right now. So it's, I don't know that part. I just know that we have so many coming, and it is going to be very exciting. Put it on the side, right? Sauce on the side. Also, Gainesville Street Rods is coming out. They do their car show, and so I wanted to give them a big shout out. They always bring a ton of people out to check out all the cars, and they will be doing registration, I'm told, at the event. So if you miss out for whatever reason, I hope they don't get mad at me if that's not correct, but come out and you can register your car at the event, and it's always such a cool thing to see all the vehicles. So that was it.
Very good. Is there any other public comment? Seeing none, city manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have just a few. One, I just want to let everybody know that we are rolling out Text My Gov. So around town, you're going to see banners. We've only sent out one text so far, but when Mr. Green, who was presenting to you, gets started laying the water line down, First Avenue, we're going to use First Avenue as a test case to where you can draw a map and we can text those residents so we can let them know if there's going to be road delays, road shutdowns for a few hours, those kinds of things. But we do have that tool now, so when there are things that we need to communicate to the whole town, we'll be able to do that. I also wanted to let you know that we do have a new tool called Placer AI, and allows us to know how well our festivals and things like that are doing, and tracks the cell phones. For the tree lighting ceremony, we had 2,100 people come downtown. So we haven't had this tool before, but I think next year we may need to shut the road down. I'm just looking at Rod right there. So we were definitely overflowing in City Hall. The whole town came out, even despite the inclement weather there at the end. I would say it's a huge success. So we had a great time. I also want you to remind everybody that we're going to be closed on Monday in observance of MLK Day. And that also means that Waste Pro is going to be delayed by 1 day. So the Monday pickup will happen on Tuesday. Tomorrow night, we have a conference meeting. It's the first time we had a conference meeting in about 13 years. So we will have, the clerk will be with us. It's a properly advertised meeting. It will take place at MLK Community Center. It's where we can talk directly to the community and bring the meeting to them about some proposed ideas, possibilities, things that we're thinking about, things that we've heard they're thinking about, and see if we can get some traction for moving forward on expansion of that park and that facility. And lastly, Mr. Mayor, this commission has communicated quite clearly to staff over the years that they are not interested in entertaining residential development north of 26 in proximity to the mines until the mines are getting done. We haven't really had any active application for that, but we have been fielding questions about that recently. If that is still the commission's desire, then what would make our attorney feel better is if we put that into writing. So if that is still the commission's desire, I just need a head nod right now, then staff will work on figuring out some way that we can put that in writing so that we can clearly communicate to everyone, we're not allowing residential growth here for this duration. I'm not using the word moratorium. That's not what we're talking about. What you have communicated to staff is that for the duration of the mining activity, you're not interested in a residential. Commercial along the road, have at it, get started. But the residential behind there up against the mine, that's what you guys have communicated. Is that still the majority desire of the board?
Commissioner Coleman? Still a desire. Commissioner Long?
Yes.
Commissioner Farnsworth?
No,
No. Commissioner
no, I think we should allow them to build there, and, people should be made aware of the mining, but I don't think we should, restrict it because of the mining.
Commissioner Clark?
Yeah, but one caveat, what was the setback on that, Mr. Manager?
That's one of the things
That was what we were.
that's what we need to put in writing.
That's
What
right.
is where are we talking about?
That's right.
Right? Because the only other time we've had this conversation was one potential applicant and they dissolved on their own. But the idea was, you guys could get started to the south and work back, and by the time you got back to the north, I don't want to put staff in the position of guessing. If you're good with the residential, then we'll stop saying that. If you're not good with the residential, then we'll figure out exactly what the criteria are so that we can communicate that to applicants.
Commissioner Maison, I think you were last.
I'm good. Put it on hold. I don't want anything out there while they're active.
Okay.
I'm not sure Commissioner
Well-
Clark was done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The caveat to this is we've had some constituents that have called us from the subdivisions that are there now. And they were actually, in their fine print of their contracts, it said soft mining. Well, when they start blasting, they say, ain't quite soft mining. So my question is, and I'm all good with having some sort of setback, but how far do we go not to impede on personal property? And if they want to buy it, that's their own, kind of their problem to allow that. Caveat, we'll discuss it. I am a head nod to say we need a setback.
Okay. Well, that's what staff will work on.
That's what we need to
And
be clear on.
I agree with Commissioner Farnsworth at communicating to people, but I know that from the builder's perspective, they're going to say, we put it in the documents. It was on page 297 of those 400 pages that you signed, right? So, and then they call it soft mining, which probably sounds like one thing. The only development was Eden's Garden,
Yeah.
but that was already pre-approved. It was already in the plan, so they had entitlement rights to that.
Okay.
So we don't have an application now, but I feel like it could be coming, and I want to answer some of these questions. It's a yay, it's a nay, it's a yes with caveats, but that's where we need to write something down.
Do you feel like you have proper direction?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that concludes my
anything-
comments.
Okay, all right. Ms. Shalley.
7 p.m. for the conference meeting tomorrow at MLK.
Ms. Shalley. Madam Clerk.
Nothing from me, thank you.
All right. Commission, we'll start here with Commissioner Clark. You want to go first?
Yes, sir. I would just like to say it was a great turnout today. Thanks to the staff and to all the people that were involved in this, and that was from the office down to the boots on the ground. Those guys did a great job. They worked a lot. They've done a lot of changes in this building and a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't get to see unless you're uptown talking to them or seeing them. There's a lot of hard work in this whole thing, so kudos to all your teammates, to everybody that's been involved, whatever they do. Go back tomorrow and tell them job well done. And then hopefully we get the little kinks worked out, which I know y'all will. And it always happens in a new building. And other than that, you know, God bless America and God bless the troops that are deployed.
Commissioner Farnsworth.
Yeah, I think I was very happy with the turnout today. I was very impressed, and it went very well. One thing I would like to comment on is the Christmas banner of Happy Holidays. I've had some complaints regarding that, and I would like to be sure that from now on it says Merry Christmas instead of Happy Holidays. And I don't know if I need that in a motion or not.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, sir.
I just want to say we actually did order Merry Christmas, but Merry Christmas, the letters were too heavy. It extended the weight limit of, what's that called? It goes across the lines that went across the street. And so that's why we ended up with Happy Holidays. But we actually did order Merry Christmas because we are the Christmas capital of Alachua County. But all the letters for Merry Christmas were too much, and we had to punt and figure something else out. So, but we have a different idea for next year. So we just can't go across 26 with that weight.
Is that it?
Yep.
Commissioner Long.
Second with Clark, great job with the city hall. Everybody has a lot of room out there. Nobody's cramped up. So it seemed to be a good job. You have your historian right here, Ms. Parker. He knows everything about anything in Newberry. So he's a great guy for it. Other than that, hope everybody had good holidays. Welcome back, and that's it.
Commissioner Coleman.
Go ahead and go to Tony.
Okay.
He'll get there.
Commissioner Mazon, we're at comments, sir.
Yay. All right, well, man, caught me off the think of time. So first of all, with everything going on tonight, infrastructure. So that's always good to hear. Man, Christmas this year was phenomenal. I want to thank the city of Newberry. Thank you very much. They were a huge contributor, especially with the Elf's Big Give. The town center was phenomenal. Downtown Christmas tree lighting was great. Man, I just want to give a couple things out if you guys don't mind real quick. Coleman Construction, Watson, Floor Storage, City of Newberry, Greenfield helped out. And then you had Chris Torrance Electric, Line Rock Production. We helped pay bills as well. So those that were like in need and needed some assistance with paying their electric, we had businesses that contributed with that as well. Quikrete, we had private donors that actually donated funds so that we could actually the whole thing. Mark Clark was there and Coleman was there. And Donald showed up when we were giving out Krispy Kremes. But it was a great event. But he did come around and he smelled those donuts and said, man. Because we did have a donor that donated 500 Krispy Kreme donuts. That was a Hippolyta, as a matter of fact. So, and then, man, I want to give special thanks. Crystal was great. Ryan, his team was good. Green, Rance, they were all there. Brandon ended up assisting. I don't know if I'm getting in trouble, but he assisted with backing up. We had an ice cream trailer there that he ended up helping her out. So the city of Newberry is like just phenomenal across the board. I mean, from those guys seeing something on the side of the road and being proactive to us stepping in and just, you know, taking care of a situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We get it done. But yes, so that whole event was phenomenal. It was great. I do want to give the Browns, I don't know if any of you guys knew this, but Nona passed away. Nona Holder Brown. She passed away. Customers. But she's been married to her husband for 70 years.
Wow.
How old are you, Monty?
Close.
70 years they were married. Think about that. And so I give my condolences to that entire family. I went to the gravesite. The Browns, the Holders. The Holders just had I don't think it's been a year. They say lost one. But anyway, so my condolences to that family. I do have a question because I did get a phone call about Gatson, and if you don't want to talk about it now, we don't have to. But Gatson came up on my radar. Somebody gave me a phone call and wanted to know what the litigations are with that because they're continuing to dump from at 4 in the morning, 4 and 5, and it's causing some concern.
Mr. Mayor, the city has entered into a tolling agreement with the Gatsons right now because of Senate Bill 211, SB, not 211, 180, right? So there was a Senate bill that passed that truly has thrown the definition of agriculture into a very gray area. So we've entered into a tolling agreement so that we can give Tallahassee the opportunity to clarify what that means. Depending on how that conversation goes, depends on their legal ability to do what they got to do. Now, they have to also work something out with the property appraiser's office. And I know that there was a resident that reported to you that the property appraiser had made a decision about that. That decision has not been communicated to us in any official capacity. So as far as we know, that is still an ongoing conversation with the property appraiser's office, how that's going to dole out, which was the purpose of the tolling agreement. The property appraiser needed time, the landowner needed time, Tallahassee needed time. So this means that we're on pause. He can continue operating what he's going to do. Now, that doesn't mean that he can break noise ordinances and those kinds of things. So if they're out there at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's a different thing, right? So if they have complaints, happy to go address those kinds of things. But they do have the right now as it sits, and they can cut trees on their property. That's never been the issue. They can cut trees and grind trees on their property all day long, right? And that's not going to change with the Senate bill, right? The question is, in the city of Newberry, you need a permit to bring debris from off-site onto the site, right? SB 180. Is it 180? It is 211. I'm getting both of them. It's too late tonight. But one of those Senate bills has called that into question, right? And that sent a ripple effect across the state of Florida. So we really need Tallahassee, and we have talked to our senator, we've talked to our representative, that we need clarification on this. The property appraiser has done the same thing. We need clarification on this. So that's where right now we're in the midst of a tolling agreement. Hopefully in this session, we have been promised that in this session they're going to fix this bill, clarify it. We also need property appraiser to make a determination about whether it's ag exempt. If the property appraiser sends us official document saying that this is not going to be approved for ag exempt, then he has to stop. Does that answer the question?
That does. I only got one more thing. So Marlon's been doing a phenomenal job throughout the city of Newberry. And so, but every time I go in that office of his, he's always saying my name backwards, always. I'm like, dude, I'm like, why do we need this? Why do we need this? Why do we need that? Why do we need this? And what do you keep telling me?
Why not?
Think about that one. Think about that one.
Well, if you hadn't seen the
Tony,
videos,
why not?
This is, yeah.
Come on. That wasn't good enough.
Try again.
What do you call a bull that goes to sleep, falls asleep?
What?
What do you call a bull that falls asleep? A bulldozer.
Good job.
Commissioner Coleman, will you bail us out here? Please.
It was a great turnout today. Newberry Main Street. That's the best dadgum t-shirt.
You put me on hold for that.
What?
I don't know, but Monty Farnsworth's calling me right now. You want me to shut up?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. One of the downsides of going last is everybody steals your thunder. So I don't really have a whole lot to add, but yes, staff, you made us look very good today. Congratulations. Job well done. My condolences go to the Jones family. Mr. Jerry did pass away as well. And, yeah, Jeff, sorry. And I didn't get a chance to thank Travis Parker and Mike New. Mike didn't come today, but they were certainly instrumental in getting this building kicked off today. So wanted to express my appreciation to them. Folks, don't go anywhere. There's more to come. We're kind of like,
I got one more thing.
we got a CRA meeting shortly after Mr. Coleman's comment.
This is directed to our city manager. Merry Christmas has 14 letters. Happy Holidays has 13 letters. That's all I got to say.
It was the size of the letters. The size of the letters. The letters were bigger, and those letters have rebar in them. They're, if you pick up one of those letters, I put it right back down. But Bucky could pick it up with one hand, right? It was the size of the letters.
Meeting is adjourned. Let's reconvene in 5 for the redevelopment agency board meeting.
Bro.
p.m. And the first item is the approval of the 12/8 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Motion has been moved by Commissioner Clark and the second by, I'm sorry? Donald Long. Is there any discussion about the approval of the minutes from the dais? Any from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimous with Commissioner Mazon on his way back for the dais. But you're not at your seat, bro. Agenda item number 2 is requesting approval of expenditure of funds for landscape architect services for Lois Fort Park. Ms. Pakaitis, I have you having this deal with this one, right?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm going to read off the agenda summary.
Okay.
So the recommended action is to approve the disbursement up to $59,300 to pay the city's consultant GAI for landscape architectural design services for Lois Fort Park Edition. The City Commission had a workshop on September 1st, 2025 to approve staff move forward with the Lois Fort Park Edition. On October 31st, the city entered a contract with GAI Consultants for landscape architectural design services. This agenda item requests approval of the expenditure of up to $59,300 of CRA trust funds for the Lois Fort project that furthers goal number 13, the CRA plan to provide support, including funding for construction of facilities that will draw visitors to the CRA commercial district while simultaneously building a sense of place in the downtown area. Again, the recommended action is to approve the disbursement of up to $59,300 to pay city's consultant GAI for landscape architectural design services for Lois Fort Park Edition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pakaitis. Is there any questions or comments from the dais before we get to a motion?
Yeah, is it,
Commissioner?
is there a particular reason it was 59 and not just rounded off to 60?
I don't know. We'd have to talk to the consultant. They have a...
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, there wasn't really a reason given.
Commissioner Clark?
Chelsea, you know, I'm all about getting this stuff done, but for me personally, I don't see where anybody's worth 60 grand to come tell us how to build at the park. I think we got smart people here to do it ourselves. I mean, what are we getting for $60,000?
Mr. Mayor, can I clarify? We're not getting advice on where to put bushes.
That's what I'm asking.
Right.
What are
We're
we getting for
survey,
60 grand?
We're finding out stormwater retention, if we put this playground equipment. We do this for every development. For the park, we decided what it would be nice is to go get somebody who specializes in parks. That's why landscaping is in their title. But we do this kind of survey and study for every development that comes forward. But what we have done in the past is for parks, we've used residential and we're never quite happy with the end product, and that's because we're not using somebody who specializes in parks. But they will tell us about playground equipment and bushes and trees.
What are we getting
But
for the
what we're getting
60,000, though,
is
city manager?
survey, stormwater capacity, so where's the stormwater going to go? Where is it going to sheet? All of those kind of. So you're going to get everything that you would normally get with a company like this. They're going to lay it all out for you, how big everything can be, where your capacities are, where the parking's going to be, all that kind of stuff. So
This is a total rebuild. We're getting renderings and everything, like architectural design, the engineering design, all of that? Okay.
Well, we're going to get lots of options. I'm not going to say you're going to get a final because they're going to bring the options to you. You're going to say, oh, I like that or don't like that.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're spending our money wisely. That's a lot of money.
Commissioner Farnsworth, your light's on?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So why can't we just have a bunch of landscape people come in and take a look and give us quotes as to what they can do and how to do it? I mean, it's kind of with Commissioner Clark on this one.
I think it has playground. That's the difference.
The engineering.
So the final deliverables that we'll get would be a draft final park master plan, conceptual opinion of the probable cost of what it would be to build the park, the final park master plan, and then a final summary presentation. So
we don't know how much it's going to cost to landscape it.
Correct. And so
But,
that's
hang on
and
one
it's
second.
not okay.
Hey,
Sorry.
I want to make sure They're a landscape architectural firm. We are not just getting about bushes, right? They specialize in parks. That's why their name of their firm is landscaping. But I don't want anybody on, and I have the sense that there's on this dais that what we're paying is for people to come in and say, plant a rose bush over here, plant a crepe myrtle over here. That's not what we're talking about. They're just called a landscaping firm. Let me tell you a little story about a park called Easton that did not have a master plan. And so one of our commissioners up here has been seeking all-purpose fields for about 8 years. And without that, because we don't have that master plan, we have no idea where the water flows, where the water goes. We don't know what we can build, how big we can build it. We don't know what our capacity is. And so what we are trying to do with Lois Ford Park is not repeat that mistake. We need a master plan so we know if the commission decides that they want to have impermeable substance for part of the playground, how much of that can you have? Where can you put it? Where will that water flow? Those kinds of things. I don't want us getting hung up on the word landscaping. There will be some landscaping questions, but this is going to give us a survey. It's going to let us know how big the stormwater basin's at the bottom. What's the capacity of it? What's the parking capacity of it? It's going to give us some layouts. It's going to give us some renderings. But the main thing here is the survey and what are the capacities of the park that we could go and what would those potential costs be. But we're not just talking about if it were just where the trees go, we'd turn over to the Newberry Garden Club and we'd say, hey, will you guys volunteer and plant us some bushes? But one of our commissioners nearly died waiting for those all-purpose fields, and we still are working towards, I didn't call out anybody's name, we're still working towards figuring out where does the water flow at Easton and how much more property at Easton can we build on and until we hit that capacity. This 60,000 will alleviate that potential. We'll know exactly what we can do and what we can't do and where we can do it on that park.
Ms. Bacchus, do you have anything to add on to
So they'll
what
be
the
able to tell
manager
us where the
said?
water park goes?
Exactly.
Hold on.
I still have the floor, I thought. Maybe I didn't.
Not when we went to him. My goodness.
Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Manager, because
So
it's
you,
important.
Ms. Bacchus, did you have anything to add to the city manager's comments before we go back to Commissioner Farnsworth, who's completely impatient tonight, and I'm recognizing that, but do you have anything to add?
No, thank you, Manager Marlowe, for kind of explaining what landscape means in this context. So,
Commissioner Farnsworth, would you like to have the floor back? No. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Does anybody else have any comments? From the dais, is there anything from the public? Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Okay, Commissioner Maison, Commissioner Long on the second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote to make sure that we get Commissioner Farnsworth's vote on the record tonight. Commissioner Coleman, please. Aye. Commissioner Long. Aye. Commissioner Farnsworth. Aye. Commissioner Clark.
Aye.
Commissioner Maison.
Absolutely.
Okay. Motion passes.
Y'all get all pissy when we get just a little bit of clarification.
Tell you what, my Lord, have mercy. Okay, item number 3, commercial facade grant for Bounds property.
all right, thank you. I'm excited. This is our second facade grant, so that's great news. Since the grant has opened up, and it's not even been a year, so we're really happy to have Bounds apply. So the recommended action for today is to approve the CRA commercial facade grant application for 75% of final expenses. So Bounds' estimate was $8,000. So we would fund up to $6,000 for improvements to the buildings at 25645 and 25715 West Newberry Road. So this is the current condition of the building. You can see there's a large panel, the metal missing. There's some pitting. You can just see from the street what that looks like. This is the back of the building. You can see those panels are faded, so they need to be replaced. And this is visible from the road, so that's why it's eligible for the facade grant, because the facade grant only covers things visible from those. So it's visible from the back road as you're coming on Southwest First. Again, more example of some of the issues. you can see it from the street. So what Bounds is proposing is to remove the existing vinyl wall siding on the front and back gables and dormers, install 29 gauge SMP brown ultra rib metal wall panels. So it's going to be exactly what's there currently, just new, not faded. Repair any damaged wood. This wood is damaged because it was exposed to the elements. So they're going to be repairing any of that wood before they put on that new facade. And the estimate came back at $8,000, so the max we can award is 75% at $6,000. So again, the recommended action is to approve the CRA commercial facade grant up to $6,000 for improvements to the Bounds buildings. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions from the dais?
Thank you.
Commissioner Farnsworth?
Who did the estimate? Was it done by Bounds? Was it done by the city, or who did the estimate?
I think it was Keen's Roofing that did they had two estimates. I don't remember the first route I believe it was Keen's. I'm not positive.
Mr. Mayor, we don't provide estimates for people. They have to do that work themselves.
Yeah.
I want to be the engineer.
Did Mr. Farnsworth, did you have any other comment? Okay. Commissioner Mason?
I think this is good, this facade grant ordeal, because all of downtown, I mean, there are some buildings that need to be refurbished, and I think this is a great job. Good job. Keep it rolling.
Thank you.
All right. Any other further discussion from the dais? Any from the public? All right. I think I heard an attempted motion from Commissioner Long. Is that correct? Yes. Is there a second? Commissioner Maison is making a second on the motion to approve. So there's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimous.
Arcade.
A C?
Acadia.
It was 9 o'clock at night, I can tell you.
It's a C.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to comments. Executive Director?
I have none.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Madam Attorney? CRA Board, we'll start with Board Member Maison here on my right.
Coleman, what does a week have two of and a year has one of? Week have two of, year has one of. Anybody know? Letter E.
Are you all done? Are you finished?
Yes, I'm good.
Board Member Clark?
None.
Board Member Farnsworth? None. Board Member Long? None. Mr. Coleman? Board Member? Coleman?
None.
And I have none either. Okay, we will, we got citizen comments still?
Oh, I'm getting up for citizen comments. I'm sorry. There's one thing I did want to remind you guys about. So we are doing our downtown development forum this Wednesday. We're inviting local and regional developers, realtors, anyone who is interested in investing in downtown. And y'all are invited to come. It's going to be this Wednesday from 12 to 1:30. It'll be a lunch at the Municipal Building if you're interested. Thank you.
What is it called?
The Downtown Development Forum. 12 o'clock.
Downtown Development Forum. Okay.
I'll be out of town.
Oh, sorry.
Too. The next meeting, I will not be here. Just to let y'all know, I will be in Arkansas.
The next commission meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's duck hunting.
Okay. All right. Well, meeting is adjourned.